Wake up. Do you often feel like you're carrying the weight of everyone else's problems, leaving you emotionally exhausted? Let's dive into 10 unexpected signs that your empathy could be affecting your mental health more than you realize. Have you ever found yourself saying no to social gatherings more often, or just wanting to curl up alone at home instead of hanging out with friends? If so, you might be experiencing social withdrawal, a significant sign that your empathy may be draining you. When you're constantly dealing with the emotions of others, your instinct might be to pull back from social interactions. This behavior is your mind and body's way of protecting you from further emotional overload. Social withdrawal often happens gradually. Initially, you might only skip the occasional outing, but as the emotional toll of constantly absorbing others' feelings increases, so does your tendency to retreat. You might not even realize it's happening until one day you look around and notice how isolated you've become. You're always ready to jump in and support someone in need, which makes it incredibly hard to switch off and truly relax. This constant state of vigilance can lead to significant mental and physical strain. Your brain gets conditioned to be on high alert, always scanning for the next emotional emergency. Over time, this relentless concern for others' well-being creates an environment in your mind where relaxing feels impossible. Your body responds by staying tense and ready for action, which only adds to your inability to unwind. When your empathy is stretched too thin, you might start internalizing the emotional struggles and criticisms of those you support, leading to a persistent and damaging inner voice. Thoughts like, "I didn't give enough," or "I should have been more supportive," start to creep in. This is the beginning of negative self-talk, a voice that constantly criticizes and undermines your efforts. You want to help everyone, and when you can't, you feel guilty and inadequate. This guilt can quickly turn into a cycle of self-criticism. When you're emotionally drained, you're more susceptible to negative thinking patterns. Your mental resources are depleted, making it harder to challenge these negative thoughts. Instead of recognizing that you've done your best, you focus on your perceived failures. When you're always focused on solving others' problems, your own goals start to feel distant and unattainable. This emotional burden can make decision-making incredibly challenging. You might find yourself second-guessing your choices or putting off important decisions because you're too drained to think clearly. As this pattern continues, you might start to feel like you're living your life on autopilot. Days blur into each other as you move from one crisis to the next, merely reacting to external demands without actively shaping your own future. This reactive mode of living can make you feel disconnected from your own life, as if you're just a passenger rather than the driver. Your emotional reserves are used up by the time you're with those closest to you, leaving you with little patience or energy. Small issues can spark big arguments because you simply can't handle any more stress. Your loved ones might start to feel hurt and neglected, wondering why you're so reactive. They might not see the emotional toll you're under, leading to misunderstandings. Over time, this constant strain can erode the foundation of your relationships. The people who rely on you might start to feel that you're no longer fully there for them. You, on the other hand, might feel unappreciated and overwhelmed, wondering why no one seems to notice or care about your struggles. The joy and fulfillment you once derived from your hobbies are replaced by a constant sense of duty and obligation. This neglect can also lead to burnout. Hobbies act as a counterbalance to the stresses of daily life. They provide an outlet for creativity, a break from routine, and a way to recharge your batteries. Without these outlets, you're left with little time to decompress, which can lead to increased stress and exhaustion. Moreover, neglecting your hobbies can affect your relationships with others. It's difficult to support others when your own cup is empty. Imagine you've spent the day listening to a friend's troubles, dealing with a stressed-out colleague, and worrying about a family member's health. Even if you're sitting still, your body is working overtime. Your muscles tighten, your jaw clenches, and your posture becomes strained as your body braces against the emotional load. By the end of the day, you're physically exhausted, even if you haven't done anything physically demanding. Chronic muscle tension can lead to headaches, neck and back pain, and even more serious conditions. This pain can make it difficult to concentrate, disrupt your sleep, and reduce your ability to enjoy everyday activities. Think of your emotional capacity like a pressure cooker. When you keep adding to the pot without releasing any steam, eventually it's going to explode. When you're constantly giving, you're not leaving enough space to process your own feelings. This continuous self-sacrifice can lead to emotional burnout, where even the smallest additional stressor can tip you over the edge. Over time, this accumulation can become too much to bear, leading to intense emotional reactions. Do you find yourself avoiding difficult conversations or saying yes to things you don't want to do just to keep the peace? As someone who is deeply empathetic, you likely have a strong desire to maintain harmony in your relationships. You're attuned to others' emotions and strive to avoid causing them distress. This sensitivity can make you highly conflict averse, as the thought of upsetting someone or dealing with anger and confrontation can be incredibly daunting. Avoiding conflict doesn't eliminate the underlying issues, it merely postpones them and often makes them worse. By avoiding confrontation, you keep your feelings bottled up. The unspoken tensions and unresolved issues can create a distance between you and others, ultimately straining the relationship. Each emotional interaction you have is another program that requires processing power. Eventually, your brain starts to lag, making it difficult to focus on any single task. By the time you sit down to tackle your own tasks, your brain is already fatigued from processing so many emotional inputs. The inability to concentrate can manifest in various ways. You might find yourself reading the same paragraph multiple times without absorbing any information. Your mind may drift off during meetings, making it hard to follow conversations or contribute meaningfully. Even tasks that you used to find simple and routine can start to feel overwhelming and complicated. When you can't concentrate, tasks take longer to complete, which can lead to missed deadlines and a backlog of work. This, in turn, increases your stress levels, making it even harder to focus. It's a vicious cycle that can leave you feeling trapped and ineffective. Now, are you noticing these signs in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit subscribe, join our community, and together, let's illuminate the world with the brilliance of understanding. Thank you for watching and see you next time.